I Got the Hell Out does contain explicit content that might not be suitable for some listeners, such as children, those that easily get offended, and we do recommend that listeners at work put your earbuds in if you have coworkers around.
And if you like the show, please spread the word by telling as many people as you can. Would also appreciate if you would subscribe, rate, hopefully with 5 stars, and review the podcast on iTunes. You can find us there as well as on Stitcher and Overcast. You can follow us on Twitter at WasInACult, on Facebook at I Got the Hell Out, and on Instagram at I Got the Hell Out with an underscore after each word. You can contact us through our website at IGotTheHellOut.com.
Hi guys, it's Deb.
And Laura.
And another episode of I Got the Hell Out. And it's an afternoon episode, isn't it?
It is. Like, yeah, I'm not in my jammies. I don't have coffee.
I already finished my coffee. I wanted more coffee, but I didn't have time because I stayed in bed, I think, till 10 to 12. I just kept waking up and rolling over, going, I haven't got to be till Laura's till 11, till 1. So it's usually
11.
It's usually 10. 10 in the morning.
Today's a late day, which is a good thing.
But that's okay. And, well, guys, we figured out how to give you an episode, another one after this.
Yeah, because I will be gone for 2 weeks on vacation.
I'm jealous, but we're going to try and do one,
Wednesday.
Yeah, a couple days from now.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you don't want to do it Friday.
No.
So
we'll... I'm going to be busy getting my stuff ready because we leave on Saturday.
Well, that's all good for you.
But no, we will try to record and drop it Wednesday.
Yes.
We're going to try our best.
Try our best. And that's just an early episode for Sunday because Laura won't be here.
No.
Have fun.
I will try. Thank you.
Oh, right. And we're going to have to remind everybody, vote, vote, vote.
Yes, please.
Please.
Till what? July?
I have no idea.
I think it goes on until July.
Well, I've heard from different people that you can vote once a day, every day. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, when I get the pending post, Dana H, who's here in Indeberg with us, she loves us. Yeah, she's the one who gave us another voting link and stuff. So
please vote,
vote, vote, vote, because hopefully this will blow them wide open. God, wouldn't that be funny?
That would be amazing if the city paper did it.
Little girl fall away that no one's ever gonna listen to.
In the Pittsburgh city paper.
Damn.
Broke it wide open.
That was a long time ago.
What?
In the city paper.
Oh, the party?
Well, when they interviewed me and...
Oh, that was a while ago.
That was a long time ago. And you know what I did? I accidentally threw my copy away.
Oh.
And by the way, the Carnegie Library has a city paper.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was asking you where to get it. Anyway. Ooh, everybody vote, vote, vote. You do not have to be in the Pittsburgh area. You can be in another country.
Yes, you can be halfway around the world and you can still vote.
As long as you have internet.
Yep. pghcitypaper.com.
Right. Okay, so we got that. I have to give out, Brother Bob has really cool neighbors, okay? Mm-hmm. And Tom's sister, Amanda B, as in boy,
okay, she
listens to us, and I said I'd give a shout out to her. Hi.
Hello.
She's, I guess, been voting for us, and
thank you.
We thank you very, 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 very much. And we had a Jessica C. I'd like to say hi. She joined our Facebook group, and in the little comments where you have to add in why.
Oh, you answer the questions.
You answer the questions, and she said that she's been a listener for a long time, and we talk about the Facebook group so much she's just kind of felt left out and wanted to go peruse all of the pictures and the conversations.
Glad you joined us.
Yeah, and once again, guys, there is a shit ton of ex-members that are also in the I Got the Hell Out group, and some of them are private, some of them will tell you anything. Just kind of be respectful. Some of us have the last name, some don't. Sometimes we go off on tangents, and you can respectfully, I guess, read it because, you know what I mean.
Because there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. And I would like to thank my boss again. She was cleaning some stuff out, and quite a bit of it made it to the Light of Life Ministries here in Pittsburgh. It's a shelter that helps feed people and stuff.
Oh, like they donated food.
Yeah, you should have seen my mom's face when I took
awesome.
her 5 gallons of applesauce.
Who the hell needs 5 gallons of applesauce?
We're a restaurant.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like...
A food pantry that feeds people. This is like a soup kitchen.
You said you gave it to your mom.
To take to the Light of Life
I
Ministries.
misunderstood you. I'm like, what the hell is your mom going to do with that?
Mom's not going to eat 20 pounds of frozen mashed potatoes either.
That's awesome, though, that they got that.
Yeah, and I told KB anytime she's got stuff to donate, because we get either samples or get sent the wrong thing. I think I took 20 pounds of pasta that we don't use last time. It was like 4 or 5 pound bags. I've never seen such big bags of pasta. I wouldn't have used that much pasta in years. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and anybody out there, whatever you can do to make a difference, it's just like a tiny ripple little wave, you know? And KB never even really thought about donating the stuff to a food bank because, you know, it's a restaurant and tiny little ripples. And if you ever think you're too small to make a difference in this world, try spending one night in a tent with a mosquito is all I can tell you. And I actually have done that, except there were a few mosquitoes in there. You know, the kids are crawling in and out of the tent to pee last of the night. And you kill most of the skeeters off, but then there's that one that dive bombs you all night. And you can end up smashing it. So, yeah, you're never too small to make a difference, even if you're just irritating somebody.
Oh, my God.
You know, yeah, you'll change your mind if you do that. And... you know, I went to the baseball game the other day, and
got your milk in there.
I did. I got thank you, Cultyville.
Just like throw it in your bag.
No, I had my fanny pack. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
And I clipped the handle. I clipped the fanny pack through the handle of the milk. Okay.
Wait, so you were wearing your milk?
Well, no, I was holding the fanny pack and it was clipped and the milk was hanging off the fanny pack. Okay.
I'm picturing you wearing a thing of milk hanging off your waist, but that's okay.
I would have done that too, but I was just carrying the bag. And we get to PNC Gates and that's the first time I've been there, okay? I didn't really think I had a good time. I had a freaking blast. But they've got this little slide chute thing that when it's your turn, you put your bag or whatever you got in this little slide chute thing, and it slides down this chute and goes to the guy who's inspecting stuff. And it's kind of funny because if you went, oh shit, there's something in there I totally forgot about, it's gone.
It's too late.
Too late. Dude's going to find it, okay? And, of course, my milk is clipped to the bag, so...
I bet that's the first time they ever got milk down that chute.
What's funny is, remember I told you this started in the cult. I would go to a restaurant and say that my medication was in the milk and I needed to eat a meal with the medication, blah, 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 right?
Is that the excuse you use?
The guy has my bag. I go through the metal detector and he looks at me and goes, ma'am, is there a medical reason you have this milk? And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, oh my gosh. And I went, yeah, I says, the ballpark, man. My medicine's in there. I'm coming for a hamburger. You guys got the best burgers. And he goes, I guess it was his supervisor. He's like, hey, Dave, she got medical milk. Is that okay? and the supervisor was like, hell yeah, let her through. So, yeah, I had to take a picture of me and my quote-unquote medical milk.
Oh, my God.
And I bought my very first tickets from a scalper. Well, Kim bought them. I wouldn't buy them. $10 a ticket. And I looked up the section we were sitting in, and they were like $67 tickets.
Oh, nice.
So, hell yeah. I thought they were fake, but they scanned through.
Hey, you got in. Who cares?
And you know, the money, because, see, I was appalled. I paid $10 for a hamburger. Mm-hmm. I paid $5 for that little tiny bag of peanuts, okay? In which you can still throw peanut shells on the ground. That made me happy. And it was $9 for a 24-ounce can of Miller Lite gag. So, yeah, the ticket was the cheapest part of the day.
That's so funny.
But, yeah, well, you can't go to the ballpark and not have a beer.
Or eat.
So, you know, you know me, I am the cheapest person on the face of this earth. And did you know you can take food into the ballpark?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You can't take liquid unless it's medical milk.
Medical milk. Oh my God, that's so funny.
But the best part of the day is, okay, we're going bar hopping after, because, you know, I'm day drinking at the ballpark sitting in the sun. I'm feeling good. Let's go bar hopping. You know, today's my day off.
Finished your milk?
I finished the milk, and then I posted another picture of, you know, phase 2. We've got beer. So we crossed the bridge, and we're going to go to a bar. And there's these 2 women walking about 10, 15 feet in front of us. You know, you're walking in the city, you just put a comfortable distance.
Right.
All of a sudden, out of the left, out of nowhere, 2 police officers, foomp, are in front of us and behind these 2 women. All of a sudden, I smelled it, Kim smelled it, and we're like, oh my God, do you smell that? That's pot. At this point, one of the cops goes to the other cop, I smell weed. Who's smoking weed? And I can see the one woman.
Those 2 women.
She had the misfortune of lighting it up probably right before the cops slid in behind us. She had no clue because I remember her turning around and looking and it was just us behind her. Mm-hmm. And then out of nowhere, you know, Mike and I cops come in and yeah, and I see her stop because the cop like took 2 steps real quick forward. And he's like, you smoking that weed? And she's like, I don't smoke that weed. You better find that person smoking that weed. And meanwhile, I see her hand. She's turned slightly, and she's using her one finger to lift up the flap on her purse, and she slid the joint down into her bag.
While it's lit.
She's getting rid of it. And at this point, after, and we're dying of laughter. I mean, and the cops look back at us, and we're just hysterical. And she throws her hands out at this point. I ain't got no weed. I don't smoke that no wacky tobacco. That's the devil's lettuce. Again.
She actually said that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we get to the stoplight and it was a T. The cop shop was across the street. They went to the left and we went to the right. And it was that, I think that was the funniest part of the day. And see, Pittsburgh decriminalized marijuana to a $25 misdemeanor fine. So I don't even really think they bust people down there anymore. It was funny as all get out.
She might not have known that though.
I knew that, and I don't even do that. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, maybe that's why she got so freaked out. Maybe she.
But hell, you leave downtown Pittsburgh and you hit Green Tree, Carnegie, outlying areas. Ooh, you looking at a bad fine, maybe jail time, all kinds of stuff. So.
Don't be lighting up.
Hey, laws differ everywhere you go. Why are we on this? Oh,
I
the baseball
do not
game.
know.
Ha 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 ha. God, the phlegm this morning. Well, this afternoon.
Oh God.
Sorry, guys. I need to give a shout out to Gabrielle. She's 23. She was her mom is Santana, and we're all partying at the Kel Cave, and we got the next generation, you know, sitting there drinking beer with us. And told her she's not Satan's sister, she's Satan's daughter.
Oh.
So we got a whole nother subcategory. You know,
Gotcha.
we got the Satan's sisters,
Right.
we got the Satan's misters, and now we got the Satan's daughters.
I thought it was just a singular Satan Mister.
I don't know. Anyway, Gabrielle, keep on learning, keep on keeping on. And I would like to give a congrats to an ex-member. Her name is Rhea. I'm so very proud of her, and so are so many other people. And I always like to give a shout out when people are chasing their dreams. She got her CDL license yesterday.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
She'd be driving her own big rig. And, you know, she's a woman, and she got the hell out. Okay, Laura, I had some really big news to tell you that I didn't want to tell you.
You didn't even tell me you had a surprise.
No, because I wouldn't have been able to keep it.
Oh my God. Nice job.
Okay.
What? What?
Let's just say we've talked about addiction and things like that before. Mm-hmm. One of my son's friends stayed with us for a little bit and wandered off. And at one point, I kind of realized that he must have been back because the garbage was taken out, the dishes was done. Things my son, I've asked him a million times to do, but won't do. Mm-hmm. Know what I mean? And I just got this weird feeling, and I opened the door to my youngest son's room, and there he is. And apparently he'd been living with us for a week and a half, and I had no clue.
Oh my God.
But he's a sweet kid. He's had some problems, like the generation of my son and his does. And he's trying to get his shit together. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I have big anxiety when I have to confront people about things, right?
Oh, yeah. I hear you on that one.
And I asked all my friends and everybody, what should I do? And everybody just said, you know, offer him a ride to somebody else's house, take him to a homeless shelter, whatever, right? I wasn't real comfortable with that because all he had was his ID from another state. Okay. He told me he tried to get a job, but you have to have two forms of ID, blah, 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 right? Well, when I finally did talk to him, I gave him another choice. Guess what I did?
What?
I bought the very first bus ticket for somebody to get the hell out.
Ah, good for you.
I sent Austin home. And everybody was just like homeless shelter or slough him off on someone else. Nobody thought about, well, maybe he wants to go home,
Yeah.
And Wednesday night, yep, and I'm really pissed at Greyhound.
Why? What did they do?
Well, let's just put it this way. I wanted to make sure he had an actual ticket because I worked that day. So when I got home, I asked him, is that you really sure what you want to do? You sure I'm not kicking you out? You have other options? And he's like, no, Debbie, thank you so much. I just want to go home. And so we filled it out electronically and I paid with my credit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what Greyhound does?
They charge you a fee.
Well, I was okay with the $2.50 electronic
Oh,
fee.
that's not bad.
They charged me $18.50 because for the privilege of buying someone a ticket. What? Screw you, Greyhound.
You mean because it wasn't for you?
It wasn't in my name. The ticket wasn't in my name.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Crazy nuts. Screw you, Greyhound.
Oh my God, because you're trying to help somebody.
Yep. But he's home, and I was very happy that I was able.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. That's so awesome.
Yep, and he called and let me know he was there.
Aw.
First bus ticket down. Yay.
You got someone the hell out.
And I'm not even a nonprofit yet, for crying out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw the opportunity, and, I'm going to read you something because something really changed my mind, okay? I had always, heard don't cross oceans for people who wouldn't cross a puddle for you, which I thought was really good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And I said that, and I came across this. I'd love to say somebody said it to me, but they didn't. It goes on to say, but when someone else spoke up and said, no, do it. Don't cross oceans for people. Love all people. No conditions attached. No wondering whether or not they're worthy. Cross oceans. Climb mountains. Life and love isn't about what you gain. It's about what you give. And that literally just changed my mind, Laura. It did. He didn't ask me to go home. I offered it. And people wonder why I work 2 jobs and do what I do. I get a kick out of helping people. That's why
awesome.
I'm cheap, so I can spend money when I want.
That's why you smuggle milk in.
And that's why I smuggle milk in. Oh, and I'm going to post a video on how to make a cheese ball machine gun.
Why not?
Exactly.
Because why not?
Well, it looks really cool, and that's what my little dog eats is cheese balls.
So now you can, fire them at him.
Oh, God, no. It would kill her.
Her.
I have a fly assault gun. It works with salt, and you shoot at the flies, and it kills them.
You wouldn't kill the dog if you shot a little cheese ball at her.
I showed you the video. It shoots it 100 feet. My God, if I shot it
But you can shoot it in her direction.
I'll shoot you with the cheese balls. How about that? I'm going to make one of these, and I'm going to shoot you with the cheese balls. You tell me if it hurts.
Sure. I didn't say you had to be a foot away from her.
Oh, my. Okay, where are we starting today? I mean, check out this creepy-ass screenshot that I forget who sent it to me, but on her list of podcasts that she listens to, look at the 2 of them right next to each other.
Oh, wow.
There's our podcast, and she listens to another one. I guess we give the name of it, Gone Cold.
Yep.
And we are side by side, and it is, if you look up those 2, you'll figure out why.
Why, it's kind of funny.
You know what? I'm just going to go to pending posts because there's a few questions I wanted to answer, if that's okay with you, Laura.
It's fine.
Are you sure?
Like it would make a difference.
Well, you never know. Okay. Laura H., I guess she's playing catch up, but she's asking, do you drive a stick? And there's a picture of a witch on a broomstick. Yes, I drive a stick. And Diana L. says, repeat after me. I am a fucking awesome person who has dealt with so much shit, and I have made it through it all, and I am still cute as fuck and smart and funny and nice and intelligent, and I kick ass.
Yeehaw.
And, I thought about that this morning in the shower, that nobody knows what we're doing here. Everybody in life is faking it. I mean, you're born and you're given a religion, a name, a nationality, rules to follow for society. But for the most part, we're all faking it. How do you make friends? You have to learn to do that stuff.
Right.
How do you do this? How do you do all that other stuff? And yeah, I posted another one. If you're forced to walk through hell, walk through it like you own the joint, And then there's a good country tune. If you're going through hell, keep on going. My mom's going to yell at me for singing. But the song goes on, you might get out before the devil even knows you're there. So yeah, if you got to walk through hell, walk through it like you own the joint. And Angela T asks, is Pentecostal a cult? My friend was explaining what her and her, I guess her ex and their son go to it, and it sounds like it could be a cult. Personally, Laura, I think all religions are cults, for crying out loud. You just have different followings who do different things. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, she also wanted to let us know that she ninja walked up to her door to see who was knocking. And she is invited to the 2019 Love Never Fails Convention of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh,
look at your face.
A convention.
Do you want to go infiltrate?
Oh my gosh, we should.
Okay, then.
What?
Nothing. Tatiana M, she wants to know if she can go on Zazzle and make our shirts with logos on it. She said she's not going to make no money, but she's going to wear them to Burning Man this year.
Oh, wow.
God, I want to go to Burning Man. Please go with me.
I'm not going with
you. Could be my chaperone to make sure that I don't get into too much trouble.
Nope.
You could follow me around, and God, you're killing me.
I wish you all the best if you go.
Gee, thanks. Chris E has a question for us. She says, hi, Debbie and Laura. I was just wondering how close you are to revealing who is operating the cult and where they are. She says, I figured it all out. Just a question. Well, Chris, by this point, everybody should know who they are. I can't, and I don't, and I won't give them all the glory to God by telling people where to find them and this, that, and the other thing. I think I've given enough hints along the way. Yep. We've made enough slip-ups along the way. I cringe every time I listen to an episode, and I go, holy shit, how did neither one of us catch that we said that?
Whatever we said, right.
And, Chris... Seriously, and I have no control over, whether members talk between themselves and the I Got the Hell Out group who lets stuff slip. But that, let's just put it this way. The last interview I did that was on a podcast, not mine, the Anthony Rogers Experience, I was unaware that Brandon was going to be talking before me. And God, he let the entire world know who the hell these people are. And his mama is the bitch I love to hate. So it all worked out. When I first listened to that interview, I about shit myself.
I was just going to ask you that, yeah.
I did, because Anthony asked me, about not saying... I didn't realize it was going to be a double interview. And that Brandon in front of me would be spilling the beans on where we are, what we're doing, who and where. Yeah. So, yeah. Gosh, how many hints have we left?
A ton.
We can't leave any more breadcrumbs. So, and I told you, Dana H said you should be able to vote every day once a week. You know what we forgot? The Kool-Aid recipe.
Oh, crap.
We're 25 minutes in, and here's the Kool-Aid recipe, guys. Alrighty. It comes from Brianne O, and it's in honor of Pride Month and the release of the movie Rocket Man. Okay?
Yep.
Apparently, it's either called Made in England, or, I don't know, maybe the movie was made in England? I don't know.
Elton John's English.
Well, yeah. Oh, Sir Elton!
Yes!
Duh.
Ding, ding, ding,
Pride
ding,
Month, duh. Okay. It is, I actually probably am going to make this because Okay.
Let me
It's
hear.
blue raspberry Kool-Aid, which is,
Mm-hmm.
only second to black cherry. Bombay Sapphire London Dry Gin.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, with 2 gin recipes in a row.
Yum.
Okay, now here's what gets me. The Smirnoff Red, White, and Berry Vodka.
Oh, my.
Mix it to taste and sing at least one verse of Honky Cat before you get to the bottom of the glass.
That actually
Approved.
sounds really good.
That's what I said. Some of these I will actually like. And see, Mom, hi, Mom. You're supposed to be making a calendar of all this stuff.
I'm sure she's doing that right now.
Okay. Marissa N writes to us and says, the first few episodes aren't that bad.
Beg to differ. But go
I,
ahead.
for one, really enjoyed listening to the podcast grow into what it is today. It just shows that perfection is a learning process. You guys rock.
Oh, thank you.
Marissa and everybody who listens to us and has got through the early episodes, you all rock. For shits and giggles, every so often, I'll try and make it through one of them, and I'm like,
Why would you do that?
because it's
You're
torture.
a glutton for punishment.
It's torture. Okay. Where am I going?
You moving on to the sex questions?
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Is the Sexisode.
The Sexisode.
And we always get everything out of order, out of everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I'd like to say thank you to Sarah J. Because I posted myself with my 30-06.
Yes.
And it's a pump shotgun. It's not a 306 rifle.
That's what I was going to say.
Really?
I don't know one from the other.
Oh, but it's funny because ex-member Todd, he's like, because my mom says, I remember that rifle. And Todd pops in with, that rifle is a shotgun. It was too early in the morning. But yeah, I shot shit with that. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we are going on to sex questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have sex questions?
Let's see here. I think a lot
Now, wait a
of-
minute. I meant to give a big disclaimer at the beginning that this might be a little raunchier than what we're used to.
Right.
But me and you discussed this, and I'm going to use some terms that I'm not going to explain what they are, because watching my mother's face when I explain what something
It's worth it.
I can just imagine me terrifying however many tender-eared people out there that don't know these terms.
Well, and there's also Urban Dictionary.
I was going to say, if you are tempted to look any of them up,
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary.
It will
But be
explain
warned.
it. Yes.
But be forewarned, because Urban Dictionary is like a sucking black hole. I have gone on there to look up something, and it's just
An
like
hour later.
it's like a dictionary page, and your eyes start scanning upward, and your eyebrows keep going.
Yep, you're like, "Ooh,
more,
what does that mean?"
More.
Ooh.
What the hell? What did I just read?
And an hour has gone by before you know it.
And you're sick to your stomach, and you need eye bleach and brain bleach.
But you're also giggling.
Some of them are
Some
horrifying.
Well, some of them are horrifying, but some of them are just really
Some
funny.
are horrifying. Okay. I can tell you, I got a lot of questions from a lot of people.
Okay, start reading.
I'm getting there. Okay. The answer to most every question is no.
Okay.
I promised a sex episode with sex questions, and the more I thought about it and the more questions that were rolling in, the answers were always no.
Well, that's not any fun.
Well, shit. Well, then I had to start asking people, because I don't remember half this crap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The biggest question was, men or women, is masturbation allowed?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because Catholics teach you, you're going to go blind or whatnot. But no, you couldn't. You could not pleasure yourself. Okay.
Did they give a reason why?
Because your mind wanders. You might start thinking about your next door neighbor. You might start thinking about Lil Man, if that turns you on.
Ugh.
That actually turns me off.
I was just gonna say that makes you want to vomit, but okay.
But we were taught out there, if you think it, you're guilty of it.
Well, but technically,
If you think it, you're guilty
No,
of
but
it.
I'm saying, okay, they don't want your mind to wander.
Because you're getting yourself off,
Right,
so you got to be thinking of something.
Right, but if you're with your significant other, couldn't your mind be wandering too? I'm just saying.
Just to let you know.
Okay.
Just don't get caught whacking to Willie or petting.
What is it? Ding-a-ling? No, the devil's doorbell?
Yeah, don't be dinging the devil's doorbell. Yeah, everybody did it, I'm supposing. And let me tell you, sex was normal when we first got there, okay? It was like joining other weird religions, you know? You suddenly didn't eat pork. You celebrated on the Saturday instead of a Sunday. You know, another weird assorted shit, right? We even still slept in the same bed all the time. But then over the course of the 10 years, it was, okay, when you're bleeding, you can't sleep in the same bed. So I ended up having a single bed in my son's room.
But it was okay to sleep in his room. Why could you have not had a separate bed in your bedroom with your husband?
Well, there's lots of reasons for that, because he might have forgot that I was unclean and in the middle of the night creeped on up behind me and wanted some. I don't know. Temptation. I'm sitting right there, laying there in the same room. I don't know.
No, I'm just curious, like, why?
Well, later on, remember, if you breathe or sneeze, you make the air around you unclean,
right,
too.
but up until then.
Well, up until then, you could sleep in the same bed. You just couldn't have sex and stuff.
Okay.
But then it came out that if you touch an unclean, or if you touch a woman who's menstruating, you're unclean.
Right.
And you sure as shit can't have sex with her. Kenny, though, did go ask Pastor, well, what if I wear 2 or 3 rubbers?
Oh, good God.
The blood won't get on me. And
what was the answer to that?
The answer to that was, well, you know, it says on the package that, you know, these are not 100%. They could fail. So, you know, technically a molecule or 2 of that blood could penetrate through all of them rubbers and make him unclean. And that would be displeasing to God.
We don't want that.
No, because it's a very godly place out there.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes. Okay, let's ask another question. This comes from Shayna A. Okay. She says, I hope I'm not too late to ask my sex questions.
Nope.
Excuse me. Are the majority of the members kinky or boring?
Ah.
I imagine they're all like everyone else if they came in as adults, but those raised in the cult, just plain old missionary style.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, are they missionary style or?
Like I said, it was way different when we got there. And my gosh, I was 23 years old. Can you remember being 23? You was horny all the time. You know what I mean? Look at you laughing at me.
Oh my God. So how did they view premarital sex?
You don't.
Okay, so it's like a lot of other religions, you just don't
You
do
can't.
that.
That's why those elders would creep through windows to get the younger girls, because once she's defiled, okay, I gotta tell you this. Once you're defiled, like a rapist is to be put to death. Well, or they have to marry the girl.
Oh God.
So once you defiled somebody, that has to become your wife, or that person can never be married to anybody else, and you're guilty of.
I just can't even imagine.
I'm telling you. As for kinky stuff,
I guess define kinky.
Okay, here's one of the words that I'm not going to define for our audience.
Okay.
I was asked, is snowballing allowed? Do you know what that is? Oh, you're dying. Look at you.
Oh my God.
Do you know what that is?
I kind of do.
Okay, well, I'm not. If you want to find out,
Urban Dictionary.
No, that was frowned upon. Okay, because you were there to make babies, and you weren't allowed to spill your seed. You weren't allowed to use. I told you Kenny confiscated my birth control because we were breaking the law. And that's how I ended up with Jesse and almost cooking him. And then I ended up with a second kid. And
did you almost cook the second kid?
No, I knew better by then. Shit, my second kid could swim before he could walk. He was only 9 months old when we got the swimming pool. And he could swim before he could walk. And it used to trip my friends out because we'd have pool parties in my backyard. And here's, 9, 10, 11 month old little Q. And we'd go up on the deck and I'd set him down. And in my head, I'm laughing hysterically because, so-and-so hasn't been over before. But this one and this one has. Well, you watch my youngest son, who can't even walk yet, crawling towards the pool. And
You're
just
probably like, no.
And he flops himself in. And he can swim. I mean, it wasn't like I keep dropping my damn phone.
That phone.
But it wasn't like I was leaving him out there by himself. And he would doggy paddle over to one of the noodles.
That had to be the cutest thing.
He would doggy paddle on over to one of the noodles. And meanwhile, my one friend is, screaming, "The baby fell in the pool. The baby fell in the pool." Meanwhile, my other friends know I do this on purpose. And we're all just dying of hysterical laughter. So, yeah, the baby that could walk or swim before he could walk. And as for kinky, you're boring, I don't know. Anybody who's been married, is married, been with the same guy forever, it ends up being almost like a routine dance.
Okay. But it wasn't like, there weren't any
There was no bondage, no toys.
But I'm saying, like, was it promoted that it's only, like, missionary style? Did they ever say anything, like, against being kinky?
Not really that I remember. Just, you couldn't have sex during certain times, during feasts, during holy days, they literally told you when you could and couldn't. And
oh, that'll get you in the mood.
Well, my one friend, Maya, I felt so bad for her. She wanted nothing more in life than kids. That's all she wanted was kids. And I don't know what kind of female problems that she had, but she was unclean 90% of the time.
Aww.
And when she actually did become clean for a couple of days, ironically, it was during a feast or a holy day, and she couldn't have sex anyway.
Oh my gosh.
So, but
did she ever end up having kids?
No, to this day she doesn't have any, and I feel really bad for her. I don't actually know if she ever could have had children.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you're in the cult, the last blood that comes out of you, and it becomes sunset, okay? And no more. You go to the bathroom and there's absolutely no more. You have to count your 7 clear days, and then you have to do your prayers and your ablution and this, that, and the other thing. And then you're clean and holy again, enough for your husband to do you to make you unclean.
And that'd be like right around ovulation.
I don't know. I honestly thought that when they came out with the rules about, for most women, you couldn't sleep with your husband for 2 full weeks because you're bleeding. Some women started using Q-tips to go up into.
Oh, God.
To make sure that they could start counting at that sunset. Right. And it actually did come across the pulpit in a women's class.
No Q-tips?
To stop Q-tipping yourself. Stop Q-tipping yourself.
Oh my God.
But yeah, they were trying to get around the natural, you go to the bathroom right before sunset. Oh, great, no more blood. So they're probing up there, and I don't know. I personally never did that.
You never Q-tipped?
No, and I shaved days off too, so. Plus, Kenny was never home. He purposely wasn't there because he was off fucking somebody else, down in another town where he was working. Yeah, I told you about that.
Yep,
he felt guilty because God made that little religious symbol fall off his neck onto
that's right.
Onto this woman's chest, and all he thought was, God knows what I'm doing. I'm cheating on my wife. Fucker. Okay, next question. Is anal sex okay?
Oh, what's the answer to that one?
No.
Okay. Did they come out and say that?
Well, it's just really frowned upon.
Okay.
Because that's not what it's made for.
So again, it comes back to sex is for babies. Or that came out wrong. Sex is to create babies.
Yes.
That came out so wrong.
But the 13-year-old child brides in my eyes are still babies also.
Right, but that's okay though in their eyes.
It's godly. It's godly for them. Okay. But remember, you're not supposed to masturbate. Okay. You can't have anal sex because that was the big question for the men when your wife is bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, can I just do her up the butt? Then I don't have any blood on me. So, yeah, the men tried to get around that one so hard in so many ways. So hard.
Pun intended.
Okay, but remember a few episodes ago, you were
Well,
reading something and somebody did a chicken. They were the reason
Chicken
for the
fucker.
yeah, they were the reason to, and you can't have anal and you can't have sex with birds.
That's right, because we were like, how in the hell do you do a bird?
Yeah, how do you do a bird? And then I told you, somebody got done doing a chicken. Well, I've heard from quite a few ex-members saying that there were some lonely men that didn't have wives or nothing.
But they had chickens?
They had goats.
Oh.
They had dogs.
Oh, God, no.
I don't know what to say about that. I'm not
Don't
a guy.
say anymore.
Yeah, but there's someone in the cult responsible for no doing birds rules.
Yeah, there's always that person that makes the rule, right? Okay, so I have another question for you. If anal sex was not allowed, what about oral sex? Because that's, again, not procreation.
I don't remember that one. I think it was okay as long as they didn't finish there because it's made for making babies.
Okay, well, then technically, let's just play devil's advocate here. So the same could be with anal sex, right?
Well, you couldn't do anal sex.
Right, but you could do oral sex.
I will actually have to sit down and ask people that one this week.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I see that what you're saying. All I know is that you couldn't use birth control of any kind. You couldn't use condoms. You couldn't, and most women, you're not allowed to go to the doctor. So you couldn't even get a secret IUD or something put in. I mean, I think my one friend ended up with 9 children.
Oh.
And I think she started having them at 17. So it's a lot of kids. Yeah, and you can screw your pregnant wife up until her water breaks.
Oh, I bet that's a lot of fun for her.
Does that actually poke the baby in the head?
And if the baby's halfway out, maybe.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
you're in the medical field, not me.
Dick's going up your cervix.
Well, see, here, would you like another interesting little story?
Oh, God, yes, please do.
Okay, I'm not one for keeping track of periods and stuff on them. People put them on the calendar and this and that. Hell no, and I didn't really do the counting and this and that. I mean, made it look okay, good, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the midwives told me that I was due in the middle of July. Okay. This place starts getting hot in February. Okay. Due date they gave me came and went. It was my mom's birthday, July 20th. I told my mom she might want to come visit that day because she's gonna be having a grandbaby that day. Again, I didn't know how all this worked. I was given a date. Oh, that's the day I'm having a baby.
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully, my mother knew a little bit more about that and said that she's got a friend and she can get a standby ticket and she's going to wait until the baby's actually born, which was a good thing because, wow, July 20th came and went.
And you were shocked?
I was shocked and appalled. And
what, did the baby didn't know it was the 20th?
I expected it on the 20th. Again, like I said, Laura, the things that I have been ignorant in life, it floors me. So, we're into the first week of August. We're into the second week of August.
Were you thinking, what the hell is going on?
That's what I was thinking was, what the hell is going on, okay? And they're telling me, sometimes people go a little longer than other ones. They may have the date wrong. It's a whole bunch of hoobaloo, you know what I mean? Okay, now we're up to August 20th, right?
Oh my God. A whole month.
Yes. And when you're so pregnant, you are so miserable that it's like a toothache almost.
Been there. Yep.
You don't want to move. You don't want to sit still.
Move. You can't. You're literally...
You could look at somebody, because I've done this over the years. I've looked at somebody and says, yeah, you're going to go into labor in the next day or two. You look miserable enough. There's just a look that you get. And I called my midwife up that day, and I'd already done the castor oil. I already did the, walk around the block as fast as you can. They got 100 things out there to hurry you along. Okay.
We had a neighbor one time. This was years ago. She was pregnant. She came walking up the driveway, and all of a sudden she started squatting. And this was when I was still married. And my ex was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just in labor."
Nice. Was she leaking? leaking
No,
anything?
she was just like, I guess the contractions were coming, and this was her second kid, so she kind of knew what was going on, and she was just waiting till they got closer.
Now, see,
before she went to the hospital.
I left this little detail out about, Jessie being born in late August, okay? I'm miserable. I've had enough. I called my midwife one more time, and I'm like, is there anything else I could do? I was going to burst into tears. I couldn't take it anymore. She said, well, you can try having sex.
Oh, God, no. That is like the last thing.
It worked.
Oh, God, okay.
She also said to make sure that I had an orgasm because that was the key to it.
Oh, that kind of makes sense.
It kind of stimulates all your shit because you're having an orgasm.
Although I can't imagine being that big and miserable being able to have an orgasm.
I got
okay.
off is all I can tell you.
Alrighty.
And about an hour later is when them little tickly contractions started, I told you.
There you go, people.
It worked for me. And then my second son, I refused to go to the midwives except for prenatal care. I was not going to almost die again. And there was only 3 women gynecologists in that town, and 2 of them were full. And anyway, the third one was going to go on vacation basically when I was due. My second son should have been born on my birthday. But I had a choice of having him induced on the 18th, the 19th, or the 20th.
Before she went away.
Yes. So guess what day I picked?
I don't know.
The 20th.
20th, okay.
Okay, well, my mom's the 20th. My 2 kids were born on the 20th.
Oh, okay.
But I really think Q would have been born on the 29th, my birthday, in January, if I wouldn't have been induced. But then she would have been in France, and I would have had to endure midwives because Kenny wouldn't have taken me to the hospital because a man would have seen my crotch.
Didn't he see it whenever you were making the baby?
Well, I'm his property, so he's allowed to see that.
But he can't see it when you're giving birth.
No, and as a matter of fact,
Why?
Kenny got shot in the gut with a nail gun when he was...
What?
He should have died many times. He got shot in the gut by a nail gun way down here, okay? And he's working with Norm, who's an ex-member also, but they were both members at the time. And instead of calling an ambulance, Norm loaded Ken up into Ken's truck and drove him to the local hospital because it was a couple hours away in a different town. They were working. Apparently, Ken cheated death by a millimeter because the nail almost hit his intestines type deal. Well, Norm never left the examining room, and there's a doctor, 2 doctors and a nurse trying to figure out if he needs surgery, what's going on, because the nail's still in there. You're not supposed to remove it.
Oh, my God.
But the thing is the nurse was trying to clean the hair, because I told you Kenny's hairy. She was trying to shave around, and I guess his junk kept sliding out from underneath the towel or blanket or whatever they had covering it. And Norman kept reaching up over and covering Kenny's junk for him so the nurse wouldn't see it.
Because she's never seen junk before.
I mean, breaking the law. Anyway, yeah. The nurse finally asked Norm to leave the room. I guess he was in the way covering Kenny's junk. I don't know. Maybe she thought they were together and didn't want him seeing his lover's junk. I don't know.
Maybe she thought he was going to start doing something to him.
I don't know. Norm doesn't go that way.
Well, the nurse didn't know that.
Nurses don't know anything.
Yeah, they do.
Unless you tell them.
Oh.
Seriously.
Well, yeah, you got to inform them what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this stuff. So did he have surgery?
I honestly don't remember. I was pregnant with Jess. I think in my 8th or 9th month, and they didn't want to tell me because they thought it would throw me into premature labor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you would probably just laughed.
He also fell off a 3-story building and landed next to a pile of rebar that should have skewered him like a thing.
Like a piece of shrimp.
Well, just imagine a body falling 3 stories and landing on a pile of rebar. Not flat, it's just all the rebar's thrown right there. So he just went... I don't know.
What was that?
That was the rebar going through in all different kinds of places. So, do you have any questions?
The one I was going to ask you was about anal sex, and I was going to ask you, what the hell was the other one?
I don't know. You were supposed to come up with them, not me.
You may have answered this in one of the other episodes, but was it frowned upon or encouraged, or did it even matter about having like more than 2 people?
Oh, no, you can't do that there. Things changed again. Like, in order for a man to marry now, even a first wife, he has to have his own dwelling. Okay. Not only does he have to have his own dwelling, he has to provide his wife with her own dwelling.
Okay.
And this came about because of the fact of you're married to Greg, okay? Greg may or may not have other wives. You don't know. And if he doesn't come to your house tonight, in your own head, you can imagine that he's in his own dwelling because depending on the man, you're not supposed to call him. You're not supposed to pop over to his house. That's his place.
Because he calls the shots.
Right. Now, you're his first wife. Well, maybe he's pulling Shaw Marine duty. Or maybe he took a second wife and he's spending the night at her house.
So you wouldn't know that? You wouldn't know that he had a second wife?
Nope.
Like, you wouldn't hear it through the grapevine?
That's how I found out Kenny was taking a second wife. I heard it through the grapevine, and yeah. But a lot of people will get in a lot of big trouble for telling you stuff. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
I said I always played it that Kenny would. I was okay with it. Hey, I'll have a new best friend. They can watch the kids. We can go out to eat. Blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, I knew my ass was out of there as soon as he was taking a second one, let alone a teenager. Do you know what I mean? Shayna also asked, any toys involved? No.
That's a no-no.
Anything more than two people is a no. Then she asked, how about incest, sodomy, and rape in underage sex? Well, I think we pretty much covered all of those.
Yeah.
Not sure about incest. That pretty much would be, we have pedophile elder, but that's, stepdad. That's not exactly incest. It's still sickening.
Still disgusting.
Disgusting. And they don't they consider underage sex anything under 13. So.
Oh my God.
Well, when you can be married off at 13,
that's true.
Oh,
that's messed up.
It is what it is. And I had the opportunity of going to see one of the sweetest ex-members. I miss her so much. Her name was Lisa. Last name started with a D. She passed away a couple years ago, but I got to visit her probably a month before she died. And we were all at her dad's house. Everybody was ex-members. Every single person there was an ex-member. And she asked me to help her take a bath. And that place killed her. She was a diabetic. You're not supposed to take your medicine. Anyway, she had a whole lot of health problems. Amputated leg, mostly blind. It weighed all of about 70, 75 pounds. But I went to help her take a bath. And she flat out told me she chose me to help her get a bath that night because she needed to relieve her mind of some things. And it's really creepy, Laura, because I know things about her family that I shouldn't know. And she made me promise to not tell them. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I talked to all of them still. So here, cat's out of the bag.
That has to be so weird.
It is weird, but she did tell me, you have an article to read, and it is from, I believe he's still there, but Lisa was married to him, and we'll just call him Elder B, okay?
Alrighty.
But she said that Elder B was fucked up and kinky, and he had a second wife. And you're not supposed to put your two wives in the bed because it will make somebody jealous, right?
I would think so.
But the second wife wanted to please Elder B so much that she would go along with anything he wanted. Even kinky, fucked up shit that we weren't supposed to be doing, okay? Mm-hmm. And she says she can't remember how many times she's in her own dwelling. And, Elder B, her husband, is screaming for her to come to bed, wear something sexy. And she gets in there, and out of the covers pops wife number 2.
What?
Yeah. That's not allowed to be like that. But, hey, it's the cult. And even if you bitch to your counselors, they're just going to shove it under the carpet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what the husband wants.
And I knew Elderby, and I've never looked at him and thought, wow, what a fucking pervert you are. I don't know. You know what? Should we save that article?
Let's save the article for Wednesday.
We're gonna.
Because in like 2 days we're recording. 3 days.
Yeah, we gotta have material for then.
So why don't we save the article for that?
Okay. Okay. Would you like to hear an interesting fact?
Sure.
Leviticus 20:15 states, if a man has sex with an animal, he must be put to death. Okay? And the animal must also be killed.
I was just going to ask which one has to be put to death.
Both.
Okay.
The poor animal that had nothing to do with anything, yeah.
Oh, that's messed up.
Okay. Yeah, let's see, what else do I have here? We might have some little man. Oh, guess what I found?
What? By the smile on your face? What?
They brought back bread sacks.
Bread sacks!
Bread sacks!
What's this bread sack say?
Well, apparently this is... Oh, I forgot to tell you. Pentecost starts tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
On their page, it says Monday, June 10th at 7 a.m. I guess they want people there early. I don't know. But today is the 49th of the Omer. And in that little video I played you, they're having an extended feast, which means they get more money out of people.
Oh.
Because Pentecost is just a one-day feast. Okay. And you're required to show up for it. Even if you live in Canada, you're supposed to come for one day.
Oh, good Lord.
But see, when you have the Sabbath and a weekend and stuff, follow it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they call them extended feasts. I played you that Happy Pappy commercial.
Oh, that was creepy. There's smiles on those people's faces. Ugh.
Yeah, okay. Now, these bread sacks are people that are writing this to give to little man. Okay. So you might be giving him his bread sack that Sabbath morning. And you decide to write on his bread sack.
Oh, that sounds kind of kinky.
You, little man, you have not hidden God's righteousness within your heart. You have declared God's faithfulness and salvation. You have not concealed God's loving kindness and truth from the great congregation of the house of God.
All that fits on a bread sack?
Apparently it's Psalms 40:10. So, but the other interesting one is they took the name of God, okay, and put little like H equals honor, W with wisdom,
right?
Okay, so then they took Jesus's name and Lil Man's name, and they made sentences out of it using God's name. So yeah, pastor's bread sacks, bada bing. Oh, and here's a quote from Little Man. God's prophecies are going to come to pass. They're going to come on time. They're going to come to pass.
Okay, then. I guess they're going to come to pass.
Yeah, apparently he said this, so... I don't know, the 25th of last month? Who knows? I don't know. Do you know anything?
No. You're looking at me like I would know.
Okay, you have to know something.
I'm waiting for you to come up with a word of wisdom as you're scrolling on your phone.
Viciously scrolling. An ex-member commented on something, and I asked her if I could read this. I don't know, maybe I'll say this one for tomorrow.
Okay.
And don't judge what you don't understand. I'm dying in here. It's hot, isn't it?
It is warm, yeah.
Always be kind. If you see someone falling behind, walk beside them. If someone's being ignored, find a way to include them. If someone's been knocked down, help lift them up. And always remind people of their worth. Be who you needed when you were going through the hard times. Just one small act of kindness could mean the whole world to somebody.
Yep.
I can't beat that into people enough. Do you know what I mean?
You're talking about being kind. I can't beat that into people.
I can't beat that into people. Sandy Sunshine, she posted something that I would like to read today. She had a wonderful day with her family, and she couldn't post the picture that she took because some of her family's still in the cult. One of her sons is still there. Me and her have something in common. You know what I mean? But she posted this, and I think it goes for anybody. She survived, she grew, she fell, she picked herself up, she learned, she became, she broke, she mended herself, she gave. She tried real hard, she hurt, she healed herself, yes, and she did it all, and she was everything she ever needed. Because people don't really, I don't think they understand that you've got it inside of you to do whatever you need to do. I mean, sometimes it seems impossible, but it's not. You know, the new life that you want so bad, it's going to require you to let go of the old one. Do you know what I mean?
And sometimes that's so difficult.
It is difficult. I had to let go of my family. I had to let go of the perception that we would leave as a family. We would be together. Sometimes, life just says, sorry, you don't win. And it kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was kind of promising a good sexisode here, but most of the answers are no, no, no. You're not allowed to do
Boring
that.
cult.
Well, I can tell you each family or people did their own things. And, I was wondering if I should bring this up or not.
Uh-oh, God, what?
Kenny likes sex. What man doesn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't touch me anymore when I was unclean or counting, right?
Mm-hmm.
All I'm going to say is I was made to do degrading things while he did himself masturbating, which he wasn't allowed to do anyway.
Ooh.
Going to hell, Ken.
Naughty boy.
I'm telling you. Yeah, we have all survived out there, and everybody's stories are different. I had another woman who her biggest complaint was she couldn't keep her husband off of her. Didn't matter if she was on her period, she was counting, if it was a holy day. It could be the night before services, and he's crawling in bed demanding sex. And she tells her counselors, and
what did they say?
well, that's on him. He has to talk to God about that. That's his own addiction. He's the one who has to deal with that. Meanwhile, anyway.
Wow.
So it's a very godly cult out there, Laura.
Sounds like it.
Wish there was more I could tell you about sex out there other than they control it and tell you when you can and can't. And she's probably right. It's probably only missionary position for, the ones that grew up out there. I don't know. You can't go on the internet and look at kinky shit.
I wonder if they do.
I don't know. I think they probably have pretty limited access because, like I said, there's a lot of them out there that are hardcore. They follow the rules, and then there's...
They might not even know it's out there.
I'm telling you, you got to watch that movie, The Village, by M. Night Shyamalan. That is how these people are living and their kids are living. The children probably have no idea that an outside world exists. They're probably told airplanes, are missiles from the devil at this point. Who knows?
Yeah, it's true.
If you never leave the 44 acres because they're keeping you pure and holy and away from the world, what do you know of it?
You certainly don't know to go surfing for porn.
I doubt if they even have an internet connection. Do you know what I mean?
Man.
And they, for a while, they all were sharing the phones. Like, you get a pod of 5 phones.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, the master bill would show what every phone number called. Right. And every text, because this was back in the mid-90s. They don't do that anymore. I don't even get a bill anymore. Just right off my credit card.
Yep.
Right off. But that's how a lot of people got busted talking to family members or people that, what phone number is this?
Oh.
And then they'd go in the office and they'd dial these phone numbers, especially long distance ones, and find out, oh, so-and-so's still talking to her mother in Michigan. And, then they'd
what happened then?
People would get talked to. And you, I guess, find another way. I always called my mom from my home phone. And I wrote out all the bills and stuff because Kenny was never there. So back in the days...
so he didn't see it.
Right. He wouldn't see the phone bill. And, of course, that got burnt after I paid it. No evidence. Burn it. But he never looked at... he never even asked about the phone bill. I guess he just assumed I was being a good cult wife. I don't know. But, yeah, sex kind of sucked out there. Anyway.
All right.
Well, guys, if you got more questions, hit me up, vote for us.
Yes, please.
We want to blow them out of the water. Please,
and
please,
you
please.
want your plaque.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about the plaque. I was just kind of figuring that
That'd be a nice little bonus.
it would be something else to hang on. Where would I find the space on my wall? See, you've never been to my house.
You've got to have room somewhere on your wall.
Mother dear, I can see you shaking your head right now saying, Laura needs to go over and look at your house. I'm not sure I have a square inch available.
Oh my gosh.
I am giving stuff away, though.
You can take something down.
I give lots of
plaque
stuff
up.
away.
You can take something down.
What can I bring you?
Oh, nothing.
I'm bringing you something.
It's going to go right to the Goodwill.
Ugh. All right, guys. I'm going to try to have something for Wednesday,
But we have the article. We know that.
Well, and also, we never actually know what we're doing. We usually have I mean, there's some days I call you Saturday night, I'm leaving work, going, I have to write the show. What is it about tonight? And you're like, I don't know. You tell me. And I'm like, no, you tell me.
Or I'll be like, what's a good story you've been wanting to tell?
Yeah, Kyle at work asked me yesterday, because I worked till 7 or 8, and he's like, and he asked what I was doing last night. I says, well, I got to go home and write the show. And he's like, is the whole thing scripted? Like I hand you your script and
right.
there's little things in here, giggle loudly.
Yeah.
No, Kyle, no.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Word for word, like we're on a show, you know what I mean?
We are so far from scripted.
I told him how we loosely do it we at least have a Kool-Aid recipe that we literally
Did you tell him it's one microphone?
I think I showed him the picture.
Oh, even better.
But I told him, I says, we come up with something and I write down my thoughts, ideas, stories, talk to other ex-members, get their stuff. And Laura does more of the technical, reads the propaganda and asks me weird questions and stuff. So,
and here we are.
And it's about that time again. Because you know what? I got to go to work here, Laura. But I'm going to have a good time at work tonight. I love Sunday nights. I love my Sunday night cruise. And you know what happened last week? Kyle, who was Kyle Aid last week.
Yes.
He's been in charge every Sunday I have ever worked at that place. And I've been there almost a year, right? So I look at the schedule and realize, holy shit. The people who actually should be in charge and know what they're doing, they're all leaving at 8 o'clock. And that leaves me, Danimal, who is 18 and graduated the day before, and Larson, who's only worked there for like 3 weeks. Closing.
You're in charge.
And I texted Tom and I'm like, Kyle's not here. Who's in charge? And he's like, well, Kringle's in charge until 8 and then it's you and Dan for closing. And I'm like freaking out. I don't even know where the light switches are. But Danimal, I think that's his first job that he ever had there. He knows how to run everything, do anything. Love working with him. He's the one that makes me pierogi pizzas and stuff.
Oh, yum.
That sounds like a good thing tonight. But you know what he pointed out to me last Sunday?
What?
Other than one of the waitresses and one of the barmaids, I could have literally been anybody's mother there.
Doesn't that suck?
Creepy ass milestones that you don't even know existed.
Yep.
You're all for I want to be double digits. I can't wait to be a teenager. Oh my God, 21. And there's all these milestones, but nobody tells me about these stupid ass milestones. Like, I am actually 3 and 6 months older than my actual bosses, which creeps me out too. But hi guys. Laura's giving me the hairy eyeball. It's almost 10 after again. But I can talk forever.
Really?
Yeah, my real dad used to call me Motor Mouth and tell me to shut up. Screw you, Bill. Anyway, anyone who needs to get rid of toxic people, you can get rid of your toxic family. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, it's your brother, your mother, your father, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle.
Toxic people are toxic people.
If they don't make you feel good about yourself, ditch them. And it feels good to ditch them. So... anyway, guys, it's been Deb.
And Laura.
And hope to talk to you in 3 more days.
Yep.
Bye, guys.
Bye.